Any bloodshed that may ensue on South African soil today, in any kind of violence between black South Africans and other black Africans from other African countries, has been orchestrated entirely by the white man. This is the lie being presented to the whole world by one of Africa's most influential media personalities. In an explosive documentary already seen by hundreds of thousands of people across South Africa and the rest of the continent. One of the African continent's biggest alternative media channels has just released a documentary on xenophobia entitled "This South African Situation is Getting Worse." The purpose of this documentary is presented as an attempt to uncover what is really the true driving force behind the xenophobic aggression, violence, and specifically the deadline set for all foreigners to leave South Africa, which of course is today. The documentary was released on the YouTube channel of Calvin Biriotti, a Zimbabwean digital entrepreneur and content creator best known for his YouTube channel on which he publishes videos about rural development, real estate, travel, and general everyday life in Southern Africa and of course, mostly Zimbabwe in particular. His following on his YouTube channel has grown to nearly 190,000 subscribers, indicating that his influence stretches very far. 190,000 subscribers is absolutely massive for any regional focused YouTube channel, anywhere outside of the United States of America that is, and this number, as well as the topics which he covers, easily puts Biriotti as one of the top 100 most influential people in Zimbabwe. But the shocking reality is that in this documentary, which at the time of recording had already gained almost 200,000 views on YouTube, it blames the entire situation and everything that may or may not unfold today on this one particular ethnic group. And you guessed it, white South Africans are to blame for everything. Stay tuned because in today's video we are going to expose the lies and fabrications that are being propagated against innocent citizens in South Africa and which have the potential to escalate the genocidal incitement that we are experiencing every day in this country to even higher levels. Calvin Biriotti is no new kid on the block. He has been producing content for well over 4 years now, and much of his channel's content focuses on successful Zimbabwean entrepreneurs, luxury homes and property, tourism, African economic development, and retelling inspirational stories of success from poor African countries. Some of the most popular videos on his channel include documentaries on wealthy Europeans building luxury homes in Zimbabwe, success stories of small Zimbabwean entrepreneurs, and exclusive peeks into luxury hotels at tourist hotspots in his country. He is a recent university dropout. Biriotti's rise to prominence has been so spectacular that Al Jazeera recently did a full feature on him and his YouTube channel. What made his recent video on the xenophobic attacks in South Africa so striking, however, is the fact that this isn't a common theme on his YouTube channel at all, with most of his content being very much apolitical. Yet, in this emotionally loaded video, he touches upon this sensitive topic just as South Africa stands on the brink of what could be one of the most violent moments in this country's history. And he purposefully frames the entire narrative for the purpose of scapegoating white people as the supposed source of all of this black-on-black conflict and violence that we are experiencing in this country.
You're a fucking I will never be quiet. I'll choose her before you. Don't come here and tell us I'm a born South African, so you take your medical insurance and go. She's not South African. That's why she's here waiting with you.
Today we are going to ask the question South Africa has been carefully trained not to ask. When the mob marches on the foreigners' shore, who initiates the protest and who gets rich after all has been done?
Since 2007, almost 20 years.
Oh, you are part of us now. You are no longer a general.
The documentary then takes an unforeseen twist as Biriotti asks the question, why is the rage that destroys a Mozambican tuck shop so strangely polite when it reaches the gates of a white-only town? He then proceeds to describe Orania's existence as an insult to all African people and frames this apparent contrast as proof of the fact that white people have purposefully engineered the South African economy in a way that makes black people turn on each other rather than the so-called true oppressor, the white capitalist whom he argues is the true architect of all the violence in this country.
If these spaza shops are no longer there, who is really going to occupy that market? Because it's totally not those who live in townships. They don't have the capabilities. So yes, the structural truth that is hiding in plain sight. The foreign-owned spaza shop is not the enemy of the township. It is the only thing serving the township that the formal economy abandoned. The big retailers did not lose this market to foreigners. No, they never wanted it until it became worth 200 billion rands.
He then makes a profound claim that none of us here at the Willem Petsche Group had ever come across before. Namely, that apartheid actually conditioned black South Africans to believe that they are superior to other Africans. That's right, not inferior, but superior. He backs up this claim by noting that black South Africans are the only peoples on the entire African continent who have a degrading term for other black foreigners.
Apartheid psychology was never fully dismantled. Apartheid did not just separate races. It created a hierarchy within black people. Black South Africans were conditioned to see themselves as superior to other black Africans. That's why the Makwere psychology was created. This is my question. What other African country besides South Africa has a degrading term for African foreigners? Makwere.
He argues that black South Africans have been taught and convinced that black foreigners are responsible for their problems in this country by white people to protect their own interests. Yet, after making these explosive and profound claims, Biriotti himself goes on to admit that he has absolutely no proof of such a conspiracy by the CEOs of major South African retailers, and that he has absolutely no proof of white South Africans ever inciting black South Africans to commit violence against other Africans. Biriotti then goes on to say that black South Africans have much more reason to target Afrikaners living in Orania than other black Africans.
If this is truly about foreigners, about outsiders, about people who came and took what was not theirs, then why does the rage stop so neatly at the color line? Let me tell you about a town called Orania. It was founded in 1991 at the very moment apartheid was dying by a group of Afrikaners who did not want to live in a multiracial South Africa. The land was bought by the son-in-law of Hendrik Verwoerd, if I'm pronouncing that right. If that name means nothing to you, learn it. Verwoerd was the principal architect of apartheid itself. The man who designed the machine of racial oppression has descendants who built a town in South Africa.
The framing in Biriotti's entire documentary is astonishing if you come to think of it. His entire narrative can be summarized very simply as follows. Black South African nationalism, according to him, is rooted in apartheid, a system which he says oppresses them, but at the same time somehow also made them feel much ethnically superior to other black people in a racial hierarchy designed by the men of apartheid such as Hendrik Verwoerd. Then it goes on to say Verwoerd's descendants, along with all the white people in South Africa, are the true oppressors of the black African. Not only the native South African, but all black tribes across the entire African continent. Now you have to seriously ask the question here, if this is the case, then why on earth are millions of black foreigners from north of our border streaming into South Africa, the only country on the entire African continent with any significant white population left? And why don't they rather stay and work in African countries where there are virtually no white people left to oppress them? Why do they keep flooding across our border illegally to come and work for white people in South Africa? Why would you go through all of this effort and sacrifice of leaving your own people in your own country where you already chased away all of the so-called oppressors or colonizers many, many decades ago, leaving your family and travel thousands of kilometers on a dangerous journey through the dark continent to come and work for an oppressor, as hundreds of thousands or millions of illegal foreigners do every single year in South Africa. These are, of course, questions that people like Birioti never ever ask, because these are questions he is incapable of answering. He would much rather scapegoat Afrikaners, the very people being institutionally and systematically discriminated against in every single sector of the economy, as somehow responsible for the real reason behind the violence and bloodshed that could potentially ensue today. The ANC government's failure to grow the economy and to protect the country's borders is not. But what is the real reason why the native black South Africans in South Africa have so much xenophobia towards other black people from other countries pouring over our borders into South Africa? The reality is very simple. What does South Africa have that none of these other African countries have? Well, the answer is very simple. South Africa, still today, after many decades of absolute destruction of our infrastructure and economy, is still one of the richest countries on the African continent if we look at, for example, GDP per capita. South Africa has the most infrastructure built by the so-called oppressors that is contributing towards a stronger economy. And not only that, but South Africa also has an extremely productive Afrikaner population that builds this economy out to every day make this country better for all South Africans. The real reason why these South Africans so much so hate these foreigners coming over the border of our country is because they don't want these other Africans to share in the access of the wealth that was created in this country, mostly by the people they and Birioti and those who come from over the border claim to be the oppressor. People in Africa are voting with their feet, and those that are not leaving for the UK or streaming into the United Kingdom or Europe or any of these other countries, well, they are moving southwards and they are streaming into South Africa, showing us with their feet that they want to be in the country where this so-called oppressor has a significant population and a significant, let's call it, share of the economy, because they know that this is where there is an economy that flourishes, where there is jobs available for them, where they are probably not going to die of hunger like they would in their own African country, and therefore they choose to come here where they see the so-called oppressor still going strongly. In a recent video, we highlighted how xenophobia is rising to record levels in South Africa, testifying unequivocally to the fact that the 1990s dream of the so-called Rainbow Nation is well and truly dead and buried. Check out that full report by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right here. We would highly recommend you watching this one. And if you like our content and appreciate the work that we are doing, please do consider supporting the Willem Petzer Group and this channel by becoming a paying member. Invest in us to continue with this work by simply following these easy steps on the banner below. Thanks, goodbye, and God bless.